Hello there, my Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your twin flame relationship spread, your twin flame read for October 2019 and beyond. I'm adding and beyond to this because, first of all, I'm doing it almost midway through the month. And of course, with relationships, particularly twin flames, they can be slow burns. So this will carry over probably into November. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Angelo Lyons, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions. You just call me Mal, M-A-L, Angelo Lyons. Welcome. To my subscribers, thank you so much. For my followers, thank you so much for helping me achieve my YouTube goals. If you are, however, new to this channel, you'll see in the description box below a couple of links for other YouTube videos. One that I did called Clarifying Twin Flames, Soulmates, and True Lovers. They're different types of pre-incarnational contracts, and particularly the one by KAHN, Soul Contracts, Twin Flames, and Soulmates Redefined. Really, really great vids. That gives a bit of a foundation of how this reading, or what this reading is about. That twin flame relationships are different than soulmates. They're not the same thing. Twin flames are the pre-incarnational contracts that you have where they're turbulent, they're transformative. You're teaching each other how to heal and love yourselves, because by contract, you can't give each other what the other one needs. Now, that doesn't mean that it's a bad relationship. It means it's a transformative relationship. And once you understand the soul contract dynamics, usually with the support of your satisfying soulmate relationships, right? Soulmates are satisfying, they're symbiotic, you help each other heal. They're just two very different things. And it's not to avoid your twin flame relationships, it's to embrace them for what they are. And then in hindsight, you can have great gratitude. It's like, oh, that relationship really taught me how to love myself, because they just couldn't give me the love that I needed. I had to give myself that. Thank you. And it can be in any relationship structure. Romantic, certainly. Sexual, certainly. But can be parental, can be sibling, can be friend. Although twin flame relationships as friends, I guess you'd call those fair weather friends. They teach you how to be your own friend, right? So, so buckle in. I just did the Aries one. This is a brand new spread that I designed just for this. It's 20 cards in total from 6 different decks. You'll see how I do this. So let's dive in. Cards have already been blessed. I always bless the cards for these longer reads so that I don't have to do it, you know, while this spread is going on to save time, but I'm certainly going to shuffle and pull from them. So we're going to start with 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards. One for the Divine Feminine. Yes, we're doing Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, just an easier way to illustrate the two people in a twin flame relationship. This is not about bodily gender. It's about really divine yin, divine yang, right, is an easier way to say it. And we all have masculine, feminine energies. I define myself as a divine feminine, but that depends on who I'm with too, right? Certain people, particularly if someone's a predominant divine feminine, sometimes I'll just pop into the masculine part, right? It's so all of our relationships are helping us balance that stuff out. But I think it's a good way to look at this yin and yang, feminine, masculine. So one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine, and one archetype card for the twin flame relationship itself. In other words, the positive, sorry, the feminine, the masculine, and then the unity, how you are together in the relationship. So let's do this. My pantheons, please. One card to represent the divine feminine in this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for October 2019 and beyond. Ooh, the detective, the snoop, the spy, the detective. I'm going to read the what's written on these cards, the light and shadow attributes, once these first 3 are out, so that it's a bit more connected. Let's get one for the divine masculine. My pantheons, please. One card in clarity to represent the divine masculine in this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for October 2019 and beyond, please. One card for the divine masculine. This one, this one. Oh, the king. Wow, the detective and the king. Now, what's cool about that already, the detective, I think is the wild card family. Yeah, wild card family, the detective, pretty sure either the detective or the wisdom family, I don't remember, but the king is definitely the masculine family of archetypes, so that's really cool. I'll read them. I'll literally read what's written on them, and I'll get the energies on them in the concurrent cards following. So please, my Pantheon, one more card down in clarity for this collective. Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame relationship. What's going on October 2019 and beyond in this twin flame relationship? Oh, well, we've got the visionary, definitely the creative family of archetypes. Very, very powerful, and something good to be had here between the two of you. Interesting with the detective and the king, because both need vision. So for the divine feminine, the detective archetype, every archetype has light and shadow. The light is what you're striving for. The lead is the shadow, if you like, is the lead that gets alchemized into the gold of the light. So the light attribute. Great powers of observation and intuition, divine feminine. Desire to seek out the truth, which indicates there's something already going on in this twin flame relationship that might be concealed, right? Shadow attribute, voyeurism, falsifying information. In other words, you get the information and then you twist it to your own hidden shadow agenda. Interesting. And the ego mind will do that anyway with any evidence you bring it. It will always be suspicious at best and vicious at worst. But then that's definitely your thing about you gathering information. I'm pretty sure detective is wisdom family. It could be wild card, but it feels wisdom family in this case. The king archetype. Now, before I read this card, if you're in America, know that America doesn't do well with the king archetype, and I'm staying out of politics for the moment because this country was founded, at least by, the Western Europeans, to get away from monarchy. That's why we have democracy. So the king archetype is not as popular as the queen archetype, which is everywhere, right? So let me read you this one. The light attribute. Enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge, right? So if you're the divine masculine watching this, it's like that's what you're shooting for. You're shooting for that enlightened, benevolent leadership to lead by example, benefiting those in your charge, whether this other person is in your charge, the divine feminine is in your charge or not, to be benevolent, right? Kind, lead by example. Shadow attribute. Excessive feelings of entitlement. Entitlement is one of the 7 deadly sins. Rulership without restraint. I'm just going to leave that one here before I diverge into a political discourse, which is not happening on my YouTube channel. And the relationship itself is the visionary, right? You see, sort of like looking at the world like a crystal ball. The light attribute. Capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, which is really good in a twin flame relationship, to say, well, maybe we can use this relationship in a way that no one's ever thought of before, that we haven't thought of before. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Like, how much is personal gain part of the shadow side of anything, a hidden agenda, a personal gain, rather than something that serves the whole, right? A willingness to proclaim the vision regardless of what others may think without personal gain. The shadow attribute, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. And I know that that's tricky. Like, I'm a visionary in the sense that, like, I see things that other people can't see, and I don't mean clairvoyantly too, but in terms of, oh my God, it could totally be this, it could totally be that. And those are usually downloads that I get from 8th chakra down into the crown and so forth, third eye, throat, all that. So it's about, in the shadow, like trimming the edges, trying to make it more palatable. Not really saying what you see, but sort of giving a watered down version. So that's an interesting foundation to build from. Now, what I like about this spread is we're going to use 2 different tarot decks. Daughters of the Moon for the Divine Feminine. Oh, King of Wands, interesting. And the Mythic Tarot. Not really helpful to show you the back of the card that way. For the Divine Masculine, we're going to be using the element spread. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit. What you want, what you have, help you get what you want, what you think, what you feel, and the overview. Love this spread. This is when I do quickies with clients, right? People are like, Mark, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, let me pull 5 cards. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this deck and pull from the top 5 cards. So here we go. My gods, please, elemental spread for this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Divine Feminine in this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this twin flame relationship for October 2019 and beyond. Please, top 5 cards. Top 5 cards, element spread. I hear you. Got it. Maiden. Mother. Chrome. Nice. Pretty clean cut on that. All right. The element of fire. What it is the Divine Feminine wants. Well, the Divine Feminine wants something that she can sort of get her hands into. 3 of Pentacles. That she can take the raw materials and begin sculpting them into something beautiful and practical. So in the fire position, we have an earth card, but it's still an initial beginning, right? It's not a 10, it's a 3. It's having the clay. It's having the kiln, the fire ready. It's having everything that you need, but it's still the shaping and the molding and the rest of the process before you. The way I look at it is like when I get home from food shopping and I know I'm going to make bolognese, which I make bolognese pretty much every week. I put it on everything. It's so good. It's a nice cream. Right, so okay, I've got this, I've got that, I've got everything I need, I've got my frying pan, I've got everything, but it's still not sauce yet, right? It's still not made. So it's an initial completion. So you could say that the Divine Feminine in this twin flame relationship wants the 3 of Pentacles initial stability, right? Everything on the table, yet not quite manifested. And you know, I notice in this card, if you look at the clay woman, that she's got a little baby on her back. So she's working, she's laboring, but has a lot of responsibilities. So though this may be a creative process for her, it's also something that will serve, not just the child, but serve others here. A true, solid, stable foundation to build and grow from. Very cool. That's the element of fire, what you desire, what the Divine Feminine desires. Now, what is the earth, if you like, the fuel, the wick of the candle that feeds the flame for the Divine Feminine? And we've got 2 of Cups. So already we're looking here at a romantic, whirlpool-y, 2 of Cups, attraction, 2 cups in a whirlpool as far away as possible, but coming closer and closer and closer together. So the attraction is there. Now look, does that automatically make this romantic? I am feeling yes. As much as I like to wait until other cards come down, it's like, yeah, this person has a 2, they want the 3, they want to stabilize this, they want to get the initial foundation laid. Very nice. Oh, funny, I used the word laid. Thank you. That might be part of it. We'll see. The element of air. Air feeds fire, right? The thoughts that feed the desire or blow out the candle, right? Overthinking, for etc. So what does the Divine Feminine think about this twin flame relationship? Straight up. The Chariot, the Amazon, taking the reins, wanting to move forward, wanting to balance her own inner, outer, positive, negative, intellectual, intuitive, taking the reins and moving forward at a fast pace. Divine Feminine wants this. Interesting that we've got the detective going on there. So gathering information, right? Gathering information, going by intuition. That makes sense. So what does the Divine Feminine? That's what they're thinking. What is it that they're feeling? Oh, that makes sense if they're thinking that with, oh, okay, so they're gathering information with the detective archetype. They're thinking about really, so the attraction is so strong that they want the solid foundation. But they're thinking about, okay, well, now let's get this together, let's get the components, let's get the information and move this forward. But how do they feel, really? The Sun. So we're looking at very, very positive vibe here. This is going to be tricky in a twin flame unless the person really is feeling their own light, that they've already given themselves some of the love that they need, that the twin flame cannot give them. That there's already an enlightenment aspect here, and we've got 2 major arcana cards out of 4 so far. So let's complete that with the card of spirit, the overview, looking from above what's going on in spirit. Ten of Flames, the Hora. Now I know in the Rider-Waite Tarot it's about, you know, the burdens being over and dropping your load and all of that, but here it's the dance of the Hora. All right, if you've ever been to a bat mitzvah, bar mitzvah, or a Jewish wedding, it is a rite of passage. So this is saying that the desire has been achieved, that this stage of it, however, is completed, and there is something worth celebrating, or at least embracing and acknowledging that this phase of it has been done. For example, if this is a new love, if this is a new situation that the Divine Feminine finds herself in, then that process of, well, searching, looking, you know, getting ready, preparing themselves, having their desire build and build and build, that part is complete. The attraction is there in that Two of Cups, but wanting so much to bring it into something stable, even if it's just a stable beginning, an understanding, but something that is in agreement and grounded. And with that, the Amazon in the mind, it's like, okay, we can do this. Let me just have to move just this way and make sure that we get that, because that detective is like working overtime, both internally and externally, although obviously Divine Feminine, that would indicate more of an internal research, following the clues. And there can be a lot of mystery here, but emotionally they feel so light, they feel so happy about this. It's almost like an endorphin rush that leads to that Ten of Flames in the overview, saying, well, this phase of it is completed. The desire has manifested, the needing has happened, the attraction is there, but it's still only in its earlier stages. Yeah, let's do the same with the Divine Masculine. My gods, please. Element spread, top 5 cards for the Divine Masculine in this Taurus collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relationship for October 2019 and beyond. What's going on with the Divine Masculine? What does he want? What does he have? What does he think? What does he feel? And what is the overview for the Divine Masculine in this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relationship? Got it. Maiden, Mother, Crone. I know I should say Sun, Father, Sage, but have it. All right. First card down. What does the Divine Masculine want? Ooh, Strength. Right? That, yes, there's a sense of control there, but wants to control their emotions, right? Look, within a cave, right? Within themselves, wanting to not strangle the emotions, which is what Heracles is doing there. Now, Heracles is, oh, look, and on the ground there is a pentacle, there is a sword, there is a wand. Why do I not see a cup in the, and I'm familiar with this deck. Oh, yeah, cup is in the corner. It's been knocked over. The lion knocked it over. So this is about self-control, self-strength, the ability to endure, what I call the grace of endurance. Oh, great crone goddess, grant me the grace of endurance, that I may call upon a strength beyond this world, beyond myself, the strength of my soul to endure what is necessary here. So there's something about the king archetype here, the Divine Masculine king, really wanting to be strong. For whatever purpose, we'll see it's only the first card down. So what does this King Divine Masculine archetype have? The wick that feeds the flame. Another major arcana card, the card of the Lovers. So what they have is a decision to make. Now here we have Hera, Aphrodite, and Ares. This is called the Judgment of Paris. Paris was supposed to be the fairest man on earth, who had to decide which of these 3 goddesses to give the golden apple to. It's what started the Trojan War. So will he give it to Hera, who promises him power, Aphrodite, who promises him love, or Athena, who promises him wisdom, power, love, and wisdom, the threefold flame, right? Well, he chooses Aphrodite, love. What's he want? Most beautiful woman in the world, Helen of Troy, starts the Trojan War. So a decision that you can't foresee what's going to happen, right? So you have to kind of use both your head and your heart, both the logical and the intellectual. The intellectual and the intuitive, the logical and the emotional, to make the wisest choice you can. but to understand that love brings its own reward, even though it started a war. Now, I'm not saying that's going to start a war necessarily, but it would make sense that they want the strength to make the wisest, most benevolent decision here, not just a choice. The major arcana card of the Lovers, it's not just about being in love. It's not a romance card. It's a card of life-changing decision. And lives will change as a result of the decision. And that would make sense that the king, they're in that place of, you know, enlightened leadership or rulership without restraint, right? The light or the shadow, that they call upon the strength of their soul to do this wisely, wrestling the Nemean lion. Heracles. What does this divine masculine king archetype think about all of this? Two of Wands, they're making a plan. Now, I know often this is called indecision, which to me is more of a air card because it's mental. This is about, okay, I want that and I want that. So it's making a plan. It's like, okay, well, I want to do that and I want to do that. No action has been taken yet, but their mind is really getting clear about not just what they want, why they want it, would make sense with the Lover's card of decision there in the Earth position. Let's look at water. How does this divine masculine king archetype feel? Very cynical, very cynical. What I love about this card is the woman on top is like throwing her garbage pail on those two. So they're really feeling cynical about this whole thing. Oh shit, here we go again. Why does this always fucking have to happen? I can't stand this. Now again, reading a collective is tricky. It's along those lines thematically, but it feels like the connective thread throughout the divine masculine collective in this Taurus read here is, oh, fuck, why do I feel like I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't, right? That's what's feeling like here. Like, I'm either going to speak my truth and get clobbered, or I'm going to swallow my truth and suffer. That there's always a third path. Cynicism, tricky. We have to learn to give the cynical voices within our emotional field. It's okay to feel cynical. It is, in a way, an emotion, but to let it have voice within ourselves, to not post it on social media, to not bring that pain into a conversation and relationship unless it's therapeutic and saying, well, you know, I've been very cynical about this whole thing. I'm just feeling very cynical that this is a setup here, particularly because the divine feminine feels so gung-ho that the divine masculine here might be like, I don't think I have what you want. I don't think I'm that guy. I don't think I'm that, again, guy. We're talking dynamic, not bodily gender here. So let's look at what's the overview here. What's the spirit card? Yeah, heartbreak. That they're just seeing that this is just a heartbreak waiting to happen, that there's a trail. Notice that it's not just one broken heart, that there are expectations here. So they're very wary of being positive about this because their hearts have been broken. Now, oh, I totally picked the wrong card for that. That's interesting. I picked an unintentional clarifier here. That's from the Masters. What I want is this one, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So sorry about that, but that was not a mistake. Yeah, my face isn't even burning. Usually when I make a mistake, I get that blush thing. This is about really a turn of the wheel, a divine timing thing here, that there is fate and destiny involved in this situation, no question, even though now you got 21 cards in the deck, in the spread coming up, that yes, this will have its beginning, middle, and end, but there's cynicism. God, I did that twice, didn't I? All right. So, pardon me, this is how these cards wanted to come out. How the divine masculine feels now, interestingly enough, is the Chariot that I just pulled from the wrong deck, but my guides are saying no. Why this is so challenging is they're so cynical about past heartbreaks. So they want to move forward, but they're being pulled in two different directions. They wanted me to clarify that in advance. So I'm sorry, not sorry. That's how that came out. So look, the divine masculine, if you're the one watching this, just know heartbreak is part of the path. Twin flame relationships, then, this relationship is teaching you how to heal your heartbreak, because this divine feminine feels so in for a penny, in for a pound, right? You both have the card of the Chariot. In your what you have, the divine feminine has the Two of Cups attraction, and the divine masculine has the Lovers in terms of a decision whether to follow the head, the heart, or to go for the power dynamic. This is complicated. no question, but with elements of cynicism and heartbreak for the divine masculine. This divine feminine could very much be a healer in that sense, but will not be able to heal this divine masculine. Has to heal himself by even acknowledging and just trying to be strong there. So divine masculine, just to point out, you've got 3 major arcana cards out of 5 here. The strength in terms of what you want, the lovers in terms of what you have, a big decision in front of you, life-changing, and your overview is Wheel of Fortune, that there is a turn, that the wheel is moving, that things are either improving or devolving, eroding or being renewed here. And I could see why, with cynicism and heartbreak there, you would be hesitant to make this decision rashly. So don't. Be a king about it. Ask your advisors, right? The king is not completely ruled by ego, will ask for counsel, right? A king's counsel. Not just what do you think, what do you feel? Gathering information, but ultimately the decision is up to the king in this one, which might not thrill the divine feminine, but she's got the detective. And pardon me for using he and she here, just for divine masculine, divine feminine is just easier linguistically. But I am really feeling that divine feminine, like, well, I'm going to follow the clues and I'm going to make my way through this because this is happening for me, not to me. Where the divine masculine does feel a little bit more like, oh shit, this is happening to me. So there might be a little bit more spiritual evolution here in the divine feminine, which is usually the case. And again, we're not talking about men and women, we're talking about energetic dynamic. So to clarify that, we are going to now look at the relationship in and of itself with this visionary archetype, the twin flame relationship, what's going on in the contract for October and beyond. And to clarify that, card of the visionary, we're going to pull Healing with the Angels Oracle card. My angels, please clarify. One overview, clarifying voice for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame relationship for October 2019 and beyond. What's going on with this visionary relationship? Freedom. That ultimately this is about freedom. Freedom of choice, freedom of decision, freedom to move forward, freedom to love, and freeing oneself from the chains that bind us, right? The fears, the beliefs, the struggles, the cynicism, right? As well as if, you know, and so much of that is about the Chariot too, like taking the reins, moving forward, balancing oneself to the point where there can be not just motion forward, but an inertia of things remaining in motion for as long as it lasts to move forward. So both of you want to move forward. It just feels like moving forward in this relationship, you might have to free each other in that sense of, look, whatever's going to happen, we're going to take responsibility for our own shit and not blame each other, because that's what a visionary does. The visionary is like, let's see this from the highest place. So let's see what others can't see. Because of the romantic nature that I am feeling here in these cards, there are plenty of twin flame marriages that work. It's just the boundaries have to be set and cleared and understood, that we're here not to help each other heal and transform. We're going to be forced to heal and transform because we cannot give each other what the other one wants. Maybe what you need, but not what you want. And a lot of people just walk away from that. The thing is, you know, that's fine. That's how you complete a twin flame contract. You survive it. But if you haven't really learned how to love yourself, you haven't really learned how to heal yourself, forgive yourself, support yourself, you name it, all that self-work, you're just going to walk into another contract, and that's fine too. But that the visionary thing here, that there is something higher going on here, that there is another way of looking at this. Oh wow, that song "They Don't Know About Us," covered by Tracy Ullman. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot her name. I have her on my playlist. Oh, it's such a good song. They don't know about us. They've never heard of love. Why can't I remember her name? Ah, shit. I'll try and remember to put the link to the original song. It's such a great song. I can't believe I forgot her name. I suck at names. What can I tell you? I always have. Now what we're going to do, though, is we're going to pull a Daughters of the Moon tarot and a Mythic tarot to clarify. Please, my gods, one card, not just for the Divine Feminine, but a Daughter of the Moon card here, clarifying this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame relationship. What's going on here for the month of October 2019 and beyond? Well, compassion, right? So there's what you can do for each other. You can be compassionate with each other this month, trying to be as emotionally supportive and understanding by saying, okay, you're feeling this way, Divine Feminine, I get it, but if you can get that I'm still dealing with some stuff here, this is going to change my life, and I'm very, very cynical because of my own heartbreak, and that's not your fault. That was in place before you were here. So can we be kind and compassionate with each other really is indicated here. There's a huge opportunity. And for me, compassion is nothing more than holding central in the mind and in the heart that everybody is doing the best that they can with their experiences, with what they're carrying inside of them, right? With what they know, with what they believe. We're all on the same journey home, but an infinite number of quantum pathways to get there. So in form, may seem incredibly tricky, but in content, there is a lesson here about being compassionate. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to help each other heal, but that you can certainly give each other the compassionate space and understanding so you're not torturing yourselves in the process. This is really about two people who I think want the same thing, but don't know how to make it work because but there is a higher vision here, that there is something that can be healed here. All twin flame relationships are about healing, but again, not symbiotic healing like a soulmate. Transformative healing, twin flame. You have to transform and have compassion for yourself first. Then the cup overflows. So please, Mythic Tarot, my gods, please one here in clarifying so we can balance that card of compassion. What's going on here in this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this twin flame relationship for October 2019? Well, Queen of Cups, the Scorpio card. So we're certainly looking here about deep emotional stuff going on both sides. Both of you probably being triggered with that card of freedom, about freeing yourselves from emotional baggage. And that as that baggage releases, vision will come. Higher vision, not just these eyes, this eye, connected to the crown chakra, connected to pop up to that 8th chakra. See it from the archetypal, from the gods, from the angels' point of view. Now we'll get a card from the Masters. My Masters, please. Thank you for guiding me to pull the cynicism and heartbreak there. Really does make sense with the king. A cynical, heartbroken king. Sure, it happened more than we realized. So I ask you now, my Masters, please, one card of clarity for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame relationship. We've got the visionary, we've got freedom, we've got compassion, we've got the Queen of Cups going on here, that Scorpio vibration. What's going on here, please? A clue, a tip, a hint. October 2019 and beyond. Well, floating on air, which definitely speaks of the potential for rising above, the visionary, that sense of freedom, with that compassion, but it's going to take compassion of some perhaps secret stuff going on. Particularly that we have a Two of Cups here and the Lovers. It feels like, particularly for the Divine Masculine, there's a lot of stuff in the interior world, emotional baggage. Now, I'm not saying that the Divine Feminine doesn't have that, but with that detective thing, if he's withholding, she wants to know. She wants to find out. And there's something intuitive there, but be careful, Divine Feminine, that your mind is balanced with this Chariot card, that you might be jumping to some conclusions there due to behavior, trying to match what you're feeling and what you're seeing, particularly if you have any kind of empathic intuitive skill, which we all do. Divine Feminines tend to have it a bit more amplified. Then understand that the completion of your own cycle here, that there's something massive here for your own personal healing, but you have to follow the clues. Oh, and don't falsify the information that you get. In other words, if you get an intuitive hit, if you get a feeling like, yes, they're withholding, right, Scorpio, that there's something hidden, 8th house, something mysterious going on here, don't immediately jump to a conclusion that it's about you, because it's really about their past with this cynicism and heartbreak. The decision, they probably haven't made the decision yet, they're mulling it back and forth, because with this floating on air, I'm sure that when you're together, that if this can be done intellectually, if this can be a meeting of the minds, that you can share and give each other that space to express the freedom, there's the word, to express what you see, right, that maybe others can't see here, then that's a lovely place. And you're still going to be healing yourselves individually, but it's going to give that compassion, right? All right, our last 3 cards down then are with the lovely Whispers of Love Oracle. We're going to get one for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine, and one for the relationship overall. Let's get to it. Higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity for this Taurus collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in this twin flame relationship for October 2019 and beyond. Please, one card for the Divine Feminine. This one. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. All right, so you do not have to charge ahead. You're really feeling that card of the Sun, Amaterasu, the Sun, all this positivity, the Hora. You want to get your hands in there with that 3 of Pentacles because you're feeling the attraction. Just make sure that you're being supportive, and compassionate, that this is a journey both of you are on. You may not get what you want, but you will get what you need if you can be supportive. Of course, that means supportive of yourself as well. To say that, okay, well, either this person is, we're going to work this out, or we're not, but this is necessary. This is a contract that I made. This is happening for me, not to me. And you are the one that kind of feels that you've got that. So let that be a consistent voice of support. For the Divine Masculine, please, the same thing. Higher selves of all involved. Please, one card for the Divine Masculine in this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for October 2019 and beyond. Be willing to express love. When we express love, we begin to receive more love. Now that would make sense with the heartbreak and the cynicism to help them get over that. That's what they need the strength for, to make the decision to just be loving, to express love, to say, well, yes, I do love you, but I don't know if I can do this. I don't know that I can give you what you want. I don't know that I can pull it together emotionally and move forward in this direction. It might just take some time. I'm going through a cycle, and it's interesting. In that spirit position, the Divine Masculine has the Wheel of Fortune, the Divine Feminine, also the completion of a cycle, but in Wands, in the 10 of Flames. So that's really interesting. Be willing to express love, and we express love, we begin to receive more love. Now, I'm just going to say, Divine Masculine, you can do that silently. You can do that through prayer. You can express love through prayer, through meditation, through blessing. Usually considered more of the Divine Feminine bailiwick, but if you think about it, it is about taking the love that you feel and sending it outward. That is yang. That is masculine energy. Blessing, unless it's internal blessing, blessing oneself, loving oneself, to express love through that way, even if it is somewhat covert, which would make sense of the detective there wanting to know what's going on, that you can bless this person. Because I don't care, twin flame, soulmate, true lover, we came here to be a blessing upon ourselves and upon this world. And how do we do that? Love is the ultimate blessing, but so is compassion, so is kindness, courtesy, respect, all the things that we want everyone to give us, we have to give for ourselves. But once we do that, then we can understand our own journeys and go, oh, my darling, my friend, I really want you to be happy. I want to be supportive. Same for you, Divine Feminine. I want to be supportive. I want to share my light with you. But if you can't take it, that's okay. Not that you can't take it, you're not strong enough. But if you're just not contracted, built, wired to receive that from me in particular, well then, blessed be. I want you to be happy. And whatever it is that you're going through, I will always love you, even if from afar, and I will move on. Because really, the Chariot can be about that too. It's like, okay, then let's do what we're supposed to do here in this experience. Remain civil, be loving, even though we might not be each other's happily ever after, because by the way, happily ever after doesn't seem to exist. Just saying, right? Because everything changes. So let's get one more card down here for this twin flame relationship. Please, the higher selves of all involved, one card of clarity for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising Venus sign twin flame relationship for October 2019. Please, one card of clarity. Practice compassion. No shit. Practice compassion. Compassion. See things from a different perspective. So that just really sums up what I'm feeling here and what's going on here. Yeah, the two of you can have a somewhat healthy, balanced relationship as long as you get that you are both doing the best that you can. It may be a reason, a season, or a lifetime, but it feels like right now the reason, I don't like that word, but the purpose, if you will, is to be compassionate, to see it from each other's side. Now, if there's no communication going on here, that's really hard to do. So let that divine masculine be willing. Will is an element of fire, desire, will, choice, decision. I'm going to decide to express love, even if it's like, look, this is tricky. You sure you want to do this? Let's sit and talk. Let's be honest. Let's create a safe space, a safe, compassionate space, because I'm going to tell you some of my story of why I'm so damn cynical. Because I really thought I found true love before, and I didn't. But it was on the path of true love, we'll probably say, the divine feminine. But I'm supportive of that, right? I'm supporting myself. I'm supportive of your cynicism. I get it. But that does not mean we have to be cruel to each other. And I'm not feeling cruelty here necessarily. But definitely this feels like a yes, 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 yes for the divine feminine, and a I don't know on the divine masculine. So can you help each other heal? If this was a soulmate relationship spread, I'd say yes, you're going to help each other heal here. But what you can give to each other is just basic compassion, understanding, to say we're going to go to our mutual corners every now and again. Again, there are people who are in twin flame marriages. They're turbulent, but usually that happens with people who are okay on their own. All right, well, you can't give me that. I'm going to give me that. I still love you. There's just because it's twin flame doesn't mean, you know, twin flame, turbulent, transformative, tumultuous relationship doesn't mean that love's not there. Love brings up its opposite. But in terms of being able to give the other what they want, usually not the case. Now, there are such a thing as a twin flame soulmate hybrid, or one that alchemizes from one to the other. But in my experience, I'm calling that a true lovers. I did a video called Clarifying True Lovers. I should put that in the description box as well. Because it's the implosion of twin flame and soulmate. And maybe there's a possibility here to do and see and manifest with this visionary archetype what has not been seen before. So overall, here we've got this divine feminine, right, detective, who wants so much to take the raw materials and sculpt it into something beautiful, practical, and stable, who's just has that deep, granted a 2 of cups, but a strong emotional connection there, who's thinking like an Amazon, wants to take control, wants to drive this thing, wants to either move this relationship forward or move away, but in their emotions is the sun. So we've got Amaterasu there, that light, that positivity, that enlightenment, and with that overviewing card of 10 of Flames. Now, I just heard a little clairvoyant, clairaudient thing here, that for the divine feminine, because this is 10 of Flames, this could not just be the finalization of what was needed to be done in this twin flame relationship, but perhaps in this romantic sexual category, that this is the last time having to do this. Now, that doesn't mean the two of you are going to be married and suddenly be true lovers. Maybe, maybe not. But there is that sense of that there's something to be celebrated here, even if it's tricky. But to overall be supportive, right? Be supportive of yourself. Make sure you're supporting yourself emotionally, mentally, you know, physically, spiritually, all of that, as well as be compassionate and supportive with the divine masculine here, who wants so much to be strong. Like, when do we need to be strong? When we're afraid, right? Where the emotions, where that the courage, right? The cowardly lion of the strength card, courage, having the strength of the soul to endure, to really call upon a strength beyond this world, to call upon a power beyond this world, to work through us, to heal, to love ourselves, to buck up, if you will, to have that solid foundation, because that decision of the lovers is what they have to make. They have to make the decision of, as a king, how do I make this decision? Because someone's going to be left out in this one. It's either going to be me or them that's going to be left out. Really hard decision to make. Do I express love or not? What's in the mind here, the Two of Wands, there is a lot of formulating. There is a lot of plans, and makes sense with that visionary archetype in the blend here of the two. But a king who is making plans is better than a king that just rushes in a foolhardy sense, right? Letting passion completely dominate the decision. That there is this sort of weighing of, what do I want, right? Two of Flames, what do I want? Why do I want it? What do I want? Why do I want it? But then in the emotional field, got the Chariot wanting to move forward, chomping at the bit in a sense, but the horses at this point at least seem to be heading off in two different directions. So that needs to be balanced and rectified. And with the Spirit card there of Wheel of Fortune, that this is also the turning of the wheel, that this is also fate and destiny playing itself out. So I'm going to say, considering the clarifying cards that I quote-unquote mistakenly chose, which there are no mistakes in tarot, there are no mistakes in divination, cynicism and heartbreak, that this might be the end of that cycle for you as well, that there's an opportunity for the Divine Masculine here to really heal some of that stuff, but by them being willing to express love. And then, of course, in this middle lane we have here, the twin flame relationship itself, visionary with freedom, that there is a vision here of both of you being free from that which has held you back before. Certainly past emotional baggage, past, I don't want to say stories, but past histories that you're holding on to still. Understanding with that card of compassion, that Six of Cups, that there is emotional balance here for those emotions which have been hidden. So it seems like, yes, the Divine Masculine is sort of being a little covert with their true feelings here. I mean, it is Divine Masculine, where the Divine Feminine really wants to know what's going on here, but that can even become out of balance. So really be compassionate. Give everyone the amount of time they need here to resolve what needs to be resolved. Because that floating on air thing, that can be so tricky, that the relationship itself has a certain elevation here. But freedom does that. If you guys can really be compassionate, and here, this is from Ralph Blum's Book of Runes. I just remember this phrase, let the winds of heaven dance between you. I think that's the rune Gifu, the X partnership. Let the looks like an X, not your X partnership. Oh, that might be involved here too. That there's that thing of let the winds of heaven dance between you. Love freely, right? That idea of freedom. But then again, that foundational whisper of love here at the bottom. Practice compassion. See things from a different perspective. So, my darling Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in this twin flame relationship, whether you are Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine, you sort of have an idea now about this twin flame relationship, of why it's going the way it is, of why you don't have all the information that you need, but that there is something to be celebrated here for you. The Divine Masculine, you hang in there. You take the time that you need, but eventually you're going to have to express yourself. You're going to have to express how you really feel to this person, and that will be life-changing. But the life it's going to change is your own. That it's going to probably complete something in that Wheel of Fortune so that you can move forward, that this visionary holds for you, that compassionate freedom that floats on air. It's lovely. I wish you both the very best and the very blessed for the month of October 2019 in this twin flame relationship and beyond. May you be blessed with all that you need to heal, to grow, to learn, to become the best that you can be individually, and help fulfill your role in the divine plan in this sacred twin flame contract. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. If this helped, help me get to where I want to go. Your support is so beneficial. You have no idea what it's like to wake up in the morning and see just like 3 more people subscribed. It's such a delight for me in my new YouTuber career, considering that I took clients face-to-face for decades and taught in a classroom with a pen board. To do it this way is just quite fun and exciting. And believe it or not, I'm walking on air, floating. Cool, cool. Greatest American hero, William Catt. I love you all. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.